Stop by the house, they said. Okay. We have tons of vinyl records, they said. Really, I said. Yeah, come by. You can have whatever you want. Okay, I said. What did I get? That's coming up next. Hello vinyl community, music lovers, and anyone else who just happened to stumble upon this video. This is Tone and Grooves, and my name is Jeff. I'm your host. So I have had twice now people at church come up to me and say, you know, here you're into vinyl records, you're into music and whatnot. We've got tons of records. You should come by the house. You can have whatever you want. This happened twice now in the last 2-3 weeks. And this is what I got to show today. This is all free records, super fun, super cool. Getting to, you know, I mean, number one, getting to know people and getting to hear their stories and hang out with them. All kind of centered around, you know, mutual love of music and our personal, you know, our spirituality and our faith and whatnot, and getting, you know, and finding some really cool records for free. So anyway, it's been fantastic. So I'm gonna run through these. Some of them are, you know, more common, kind of everyday things, but things that I did not have in my collection and was just, you know, nice to be able to pick them up, especially for free, and also some gems and some goodies in here. So gonna share those with you. Without further ado, it's a mix of all kinds of things. Rock, pop, jazz, country, some easy listening, some, you know, lounge, exotica, a little bit of everything. So something for everyone. So here we go. All right. So from the first place that I went to, got, I don't know how many, whatever. We'll just go through them and as quick as possible. Put the glasses on so that I can see something and read. We've got, here's a little ABBA, the album. I mean, common record, but one I did not have. This is from 1977, and Atlantic. These are pretty common, so I don't know if I'm going to show the labels on all of them, but also ABBA Greatest Hits. This is a gatefold. This was super cool because, which way does it go? I was really glad to pick this up. And this is in fantastic condition, just phenomenal condition. I made a newbie mistake maybe a couple years ago. I was at a half-price bookstore going through their bargain bin records, and I found ABBA's Greatest Hits. It was in phenomenal condition, like near mint. I pulled out the record, I looked at it, beautiful condition, near mint all around. I threw it in my pile. It was like, you know, 50 cents. Took it up, you know, checked out, ended up home, going through all my records, and I'm looking at this, and I'm like, realize that it's got the wrong record in it. It was an ABBA record, but not the Greatest Hits record. So so I had a near mint copy jacket with the wrong record in it, and finally found for free ABBA's Greatest Hits with the right record. So I'm excited about that, as you can probably tell. Also got then ABBA Greatest Hits Volume 2. This is also a gatefold. Great stuff. Nice condition. And all free. Got a little Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young. This is a compilation. So Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young So Far. This one unfortunately is not in the best of condition, but I cleaned it up and spun that a little bit already, and it sounds good despite the condition. So I was really kind of pleased to pick that up. It's got cover art by Joni Mitchell, so that's interesting. Let's see, what else we got here? We have the Eagles Greatest Hits Volume 2. It's a Record Club, RCA Record Club press. Really nice condition. What is that? Asylum Records there. So that was a good pickup. And I was really kind of pleased. You know, I'm not a huge Eagles fan, and I'm not a big fan of Greatest Hits records either, but somewhere along the line I lost my copy of Eagles Live, so I was really glad to pick this up because it does have Seven Bridges Road on it, which once I realized I did not have the Eagles Live record, I was kind of mourning the loss of that because I really like that Seven Bridges Road, which is a live version of that song. Eagles Greatest Hits Volume 2. Next up, we got a little soul, funk and whatnot. We got some Temptations. This is House Party. This is from 1975. And it is on the Gordy Motown label. Nice condition on that one. Love Temptations. I really dig the Temptations. Along with that goes another Temptations. Temptations Sing Smokey. This is from 1965. Not sure about the pressing on this one. I cleaned it up, listened to it, sounds great, and tried to do a little research on Discogs. It's on Gordy as well, slightly earlier label. Tried to figure out exactly which pressing I have, and not figuring it out, but it seems to be an early pressing. I don't know that it's the first pressing. Not that that really matters. It sounds great, it's in good condition, and it was free! What else we got here? A bunch of U2. Was excited to find some U2. 12-inch singles mostly. Here's U2 Desire. In beautiful condition. Just fantastic shape on the Island label. So it's got a remix on there. Desire, the Hollywood remix. Desire, the 7-inch version. And Hallelujah, Here She Comes. Little U2, Desire. Also, some more U2. Here's, I'll take this out of the plastic. This is an import U2 Pride, In the Name of Love. 12-inch single, and just a little flimsy. This is a British or an English pressing, I do believe. Also on the Island, kind of a different Island label there. So this has, what we got here? You got Pride in the Name of Love, and then on the flip you've got Boomerang 1 and Boomerang 2 and 4th of July. So I'm guessing some of those are non-LP tracks. I really dig U2, but have not like really actively collected their, I mean, I've collected their albums. I have a number of them in my collection, but have not really gone after 12-inch singles, so I'm not as up on that knowledge-wise like I am with Prince. I mean, I know what's non-LP and whatnot when it comes to Prince, but not so much with U2. So do a little research there and figure out exactly what I have. With the U2 also goes, here's a picture disc, Bono interview. It's an interview. Also an English pressing from the UK, made in England right there. So that's kind of cool. Whoop. It's kind of fun. And a U2, a bootleg, U2 Articulate Speech of the Heart. This is a live bootleg, definitely from the Joshua Tree era, because it's got all the Joshua Tree stuff and earlier. So really kind of a cool find there. It's on this Toasted label. And it's, you know, it sounds good. I don't know if it's going to be a keeper for my collection. I love U2. I don't know that I'm that big of a U2 fan to really delve into bootlegs and whatnot. And I'm not a big fan of, you know, I mean, it's somebody recording it with a recorder, or they're out there in the audience. It sounds good, but it's a bootleg that's not, obviously, it's a bootleg. It's not professionally done. So the, you know, audio quality is certainly not up there. So I don't know. Let's see what I'm gonna do with that. Got a little jazz for free. This is Herbie Mann, Hold On, I'm Coming. Recorded live at the 1972 New York and Montreux Jazz Festivals. It's got this really kind of interesting jacket. It's got this die cut thing there. You can see the gatefold of the die cut. And then it's another one on the back. And then the record is like in here in the middle. Kind of weird. I don't know that I've ever really seen anything like this before. And that is it's on Atlantic. Great album. I listened to this the other night, and really good stuff. I mean, and you've got Herbie Mann, David Newman on tenor sax and flute, Sonny Sharrock on guitar, Pat, I don't know if I can pronounce that name, Rebelot on electric piano, Andy Mewson on bass, and Reggie Ferguson on drums. Really nice live album. Some funky stuff on there. Really enjoyed that. Let's see here. Oh, I got some other, I'm kind of jumping around. Whatever. So what? Really excited to find this. This was just fantastic because this is a classic that I've been keeping my eye out and have been considering buying a reissue, but was super excited to find. Dave Brubeck. Take 5. The Dave Brubeck Quartet, Time Out. It's a stereo copy, and it is not a first pressing. This one is a 2i Columbia with the white lettering down here on the bottom, the white stereo, and 360 sound. In decent condition, I would call it a strong, very good. So to get that for free, I mean, it definitely plays nice, and I love the sound of this. I've had this on CD for a long time, but to get this on vinyl, the vinyl sound is just fantastic. The sound of the cymbals on that opening song on Blue Rondo a la Turk, man, it's just so crystal clear and just, it just sounds fantastic. So I am so excited to get this on vinyl for the first time. Let's see, also got, things are a little bit out of order as far as genre, whatever, it doesn't matter. We got little Martin Denny, Quiet Village. This is the black label with the kind of rainbow, so not an earlier pressing, but I dig Martin Denny. Awesome stuff, fantastic Exotica. Also got, here, see where we got a little out of order. Doesn't matter. Got a lot, if you will, of 4 12-inch singles by Big Country. We've got Look Away, 12-inch remix. We've got, and then some English pressings in imports. Actually has a record store kind of tag on here. Record, tape, and video exchange, 38 Notting Hill Gate. So, 38 Notting Hill Gate. For those of you, Headley and James Griffiths over there in England, I don't know if you're familiar with that store, if it's still there even. Record, tape, and video exchange. This is, what is this? East of Eden, an extended version. And then we've got, all from the same store, Big Country, In a Big Country, 12-inch single, different mixes, and then also again from the same store, Big Country, Peace in Our Time, 12-inch single. So, interesting stuff there, all for free. It was really kind of cool because, this was an older couple who had me over their house, so they had, stuff that was, obviously, kind of some things from the 50s and 60s, and then, all the way up. They had, those were like their records, and then they also had like some records that had belonged to their son, which would be the U2 and the Big Country and whatnot, the ABBA, I'm assuming. So it was really kind of cool. I also got a bunch of 78s, and you guys know, if you watch my other videos, I love collect 78s and the old music from the 20s and 30s. So they had like records that had belonged, so this was an older couple, and they had records that had belonged to their parents. So I did pick those up. I'll probably do those in a separate video, like a shellac fines or something, but I don't know what we'll call it. But so that was kind of cool to get like stuff from all the way from like the teens up through, you know, 80s stuff. I mean, just super cool and great people. Had such a good time hanging out with them, getting to know them a little bit, hear their story, and digging through, you know, through records. It's just fantastic. Also, some other folks that I know from church, same kind of deal. They're downsizing and moving into a smaller place, and you know, she said, I've got thousands of records. You should come over, you know, look through them. You can take what you want. They didn't have thousands. They had hundreds, but still, it was super fun. Let's go through those. This is again another mix of genres and whatnot. Got a little classical. This is let's see, Archive is on the Archive label. History of Music, the High Renaissance, and we got stuff by Praetorius, Wiedemann, and Sheen. I guess probably murdering the pronunciations there, but kind of a super cool find. I dig these. Have not cleaned this one yet. Some of these I have. This is on that Silver Archive label, so that will be fun to check out. Some of these I have cleaned and listened to, and some I have not yet. This was kind of cool and very interesting. This is a soundtrack, Barabbas. This is a movie from the 60s, I believe. Gatefold. Oh, get some glare there. In fantastic condition. I mean, it's just like near mint, this one. Interesting here, it says the most innovational movie score ever recorded. So I'm really kind of interested, you know, like anxious to check this out. It's a big like blurb here on the back, all about, you know, this innovative music. It says here, the new sound of Barabbas has been created through the use of electronics, special reproduction, and the ultimate use of modern recording methods. The listener will hear few conventional sounds, for the composer has avoided the conventional in this score. So unique is the music of Barabbas, in fact, that it has been deemed worthwhile to illustrate and explain some of the unusual methods and effects heard in this album. And there's like little explanations in here of, anyway, just super cool. Looking forward to giving that a spin and checking that out. Some more soundtracks. Footloose! Man, classic 80s soundtrack. I dig this movie. I mean, this is like nostalgia here. Love the movie. There's some cool songs on here. I mean, everything from, I mean, you get Kenny Loggins, obviously, that's like the hit song, through Sammy Hagar. I was not aware of Sammy Hagar in that soundtrack, so that's kind of cool. Got The Graduate, Simon and Garfunkel, The Graduate soundtrack. Have not cleaned this one up yet. It's a, let's see here. Gotta watch the time. It's gonna be a long video probably. It's a Columbia 2i. Not sure if that's a first, you know, if that would have been a, if that could be a first pressing or not, or if that would have been a 6i. I'll do a little research. But anyway, soundtrack to The Graduate. Of course, got Songs of Silence and Mrs. Robinson and whatnot. So very cool pickup, especially for free. This is kind of a standard, common one, but Jesus Christ Superstar. I did not have this. It's got a booklet with it, and kind of cool gatefold with this special sleeve. There's actually 2 copies of the booklet. Interesting, but anyway, you can see that. I have the movie soundtrack on vinyl, a copy that actually belonged to my dad. That's kind of cool to have that original that I used to listen to as a kid, but I did not have this, which is the Broadway Cast album. So that's cool. Whoop, there goes the booklet. So did not have that in my collection. Star Wars! Another bunch of soundtracks I picked up. So this is the Star Wars soundtrack. Did I clean this one? I did not clean this one yet. Did a little look on Discogs, see what I could find out about it. There's like a bazillion different pressings of this Star Wars. This is this label. There was another label that was blue, I think. So not sure what I got here exactly, but it's the Star Wars soundtrack, and it's in really nice condition, and it was free. Let's see here. Little lounge or exotica. We got Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass, Going Places. This is a classic. I remember this as a kid listening to this. My parents had this album, Whipped Cream and Other Delights and Going Places. I remember specifically those two from my childhood. Nice little cheesecake cover. This is a mono pressing, so I was excited to pick that up. Condition's not so great on this one, that's unfortunate. But it is a mono copy. So that'll be fun to check out. Got some Joan Baez, a little folk. Here's In Concert 1 and 2. Let's see, there we go. Whoop. Make sure those get in there. Nice condition. These are on Vanguard. Oh, here's a little catalog. Folk music on Vanguard. So that's fun. I dig this kind of stuff. You know, this is so much fun. A little trifold there. So super cool. And it's on this kind of burgundy Vanguard label. I'm not used to that. Usually you see the black Vanguard label. So have to do a little research there and see exactly what I have here. Nice condition, and these stereo copies? Must be. Oh no. It says also on stereo. So these are mono copies. Very cool. I dig the mono. Also picked up, this is a second copy for me, but Cream Disraeli Gears. I had a copy of this, a little hair there. I had a copy of this I picked up for a couple of bucks at local junk shop. This has original sleeve, inner sleeve, looks like a first pressing or at least an early one. Condition on the record unfortunately is not so great, but the jacket is really decent. The copy that I have, the jacket's all jacked up. It's got tape around the edges and whatnot. So even though the record's not in the greatest shape, I grabbed this because I thought, you know, maybe I'll Frankenstein those two and create one that has a really nice, because my vinyl's nice in the other one, so put a nice jacket with it as well. That's gonna be cool. What else we have here? Picked up a mono copy of Buddy Morrow, Night Train Goes to Hollywood. This was also at St. People's House. Fantastic, got the original inner sleeve, it's the black mono. Unfortunately, I've been picking up Mercury stereo records just checking out early stereo records and how they sound, and so interesting thing. I may or may not have recently picked up a stereo copy of this because I went out over my birthday last week and did some record digging over in central Wisconsin area. I may or may not have actually found a stereo copy of this, so that'll be in another video. So, alright, what else do we have here? We got some more big band. We got Cy Zentner and his orchestra. This is Up a Lazy River. Is on the Liberty label. It's that, you know, kind of rainbow label. So that's fun. I dig the big band stuff. I just love the big band jazz. And oh, here we go again. Super, this was great. I found, you know, one copy at the one person's house, another copy at this person's house. Here we go again. We got Dave Brubeck, Take Time Out. This one is still not a 6i, but getting further back in time, because this one, if I remember my Columbia labelography right, this one I think is further back in time. This is the 2i with the black 360 sound stereo. So I do believe this is a slightly earlier pressing. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I might have got those out of order. I think it goes, you know, 6i and then the 2i with the black and the 2i with the white. I think that's how that goes. Please correct me if I'm wrong. This one is in decent condition as well. I mean, it's strong, very good. So really kind of cool now to have two copies. Figure, you know, I'm just kind of working my way back in time, and eventually maybe I'll hit the jackpot and find a 6i copy. That'd be super sweet. A little more jazz. Again, all for free from this couple's house. I mean, this is fantastic. Here's Joe Pass. Joe Pass, Portraits of Duke Ellington. And this is on the Pablo label. Looks like that. So excited to find that. You got Joe Pass on guitar, Ray Brown on bass, Bobby Durham on drums. So trio there. Have not listened to that yet, but I am sure it's going to be, well, I'm hopeful that it's going to be very cool. Got some classic rock now, a little more classic rock. This was super cool, man. I was so excited to find this. We got the Beach Boys, Smiley Smile. This is, I'm not exactly sure what I've got here. Again, was doing some research on Discogs to see what I have exactly. What pressing is this? It's a mono copy. It's got a mono. It's definitely mono. T9001. It has on the back, it does not have what there's, the later pressings have, oh, like someone's attributed, like credits are attributed to someone. I don't remember the details on that. It does not have that, so it seems like an early pressing, but the matrix numbers don't quite line up with some of the things I found in Discogs, so I'm not 100% sure what I've got here, what pressing I have here, but I'm guessing it's got to be an early mono pressing if it's not a first pressing. So the colors are also a little off compared to some of the pictures I saw on Discogs, but you know, that I don't know if that's the people's camera, if that's their photography, or if it really is the true color, but the colors on the front and the back seem a little bit different from what I've seen on Discogs. But anyway, anybody's got any advice or got any, you know, got any information, you can help me out, that'd be fantastic. We'd love to hear it. Beach Boys, Smiley Smile. Some more Beach Boys. We got Wild Honey. The Beach Boys, Wild Honey. This is also a mono copy. This is on the Capitol label there. Super cool. It is, I already said that. It's a mono copy, so I was excited to get that. There's a Beach Boys compilation. Got 32 Little Deuce Coupe. This is also, is this a mono copy? Let's see. It's on this kind of orangey yellow. That is stereo. Definitely stereo. Anyway, we also got here is the Grassroots, Move Along. And this is on Dunhill. Got some Mamas and the Papas. This is the Mamas and the Papas Deliver. A mono copy. Not a first pressing, because I'm guessing it's got this actually printed on the cover. So includes their smash hit dedicated to the one I love. So obviously not a first pressing, but it is mono, and it is in really pretty nice shape. Dunhill. Until this, I did not have any Mamas and the Papas in my collection. So even though it's a common one I see around all the time, but it just never picked up. And you know, for free, for free, I'll pick it up. Got a little Art Garfunkel, Breakaway. This is from 1975. Nothing super special. It's just the Columbia label. But I was excited to get that along with Paul Simon, Still Crazy After All These Years. This is also from 1975, and it is also on the Columbia label. So super cool to get those, kind of like a matching pair, right? Matching set, Simon and Garfunkel from 1975 for free. And finally, last but not least, a little bit of country. We got a compilation here, The World of Johnny Cash. This is a gatefold greatest hits collection, and it is on Columbia. It's got original sleeves in there, it looks like. And this is a 2i stereo with the white labeling there for 360 stereo sound. One last one. Also some country. Got Willie and Family Live. Live album from, what is that, looks like 1978, 1979. My eyesight's going. So, Gatefold double album. This is on Columbia. And let's see. Definitely 1978. 1978. Willie and Family Live. So those are the finds. This was, you know, man, I just had so much fun visiting with these folks, sharing stories, getting to know them a little bit, getting to dig through their records and come away with some, you know, some nice albums for me for free. Super cool. So yes, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Really appreciate that. Thanks for dropping comments. Thanks for interacting. That is the best part of all of this. I really appreciate that. Drop a comment or two. Man, give me some leads. Give me some feedback. You know, help me out with some of these things that, you know, I'm not sure exactly what I've got. That would be fantastic. Love the interaction. Really appreciate that. Thank you again. Just thank you for watching. And until next time, stay in the groove.